This video is going to be about foreshortening and the pose from the previous video. I got a really good question under the comment section that how did I arrive or how did I constructed this pose and what is the easiest way to make the foreshortening. This video I'm going to explain just that. It's probably going to take about 7 to 10 minutes on how I created the pose and what's the easiest way to make it. Alright, let's get started. So in this short video tutorial, I'm going to be talking about perspective on this one. So basically, just think of if you ever see art mannequin, this thing kind of look like, and then it has fingers coming out. You can find these mannequin in basically every major art store. So I'm not gonna draw the whole thing of this mannequin guy. It has like leg coming down and balls and so on. So you can find that in any art store. But notice that the arm has 2 cylinders. For the forearm, upper arm, and then the shoulder, and then the torso also part of the cylinder. It's sort of like a cylinder, but basically just think of it as everything as cylinder, so it's easier to visualize. So this one, you just have to first, if the arm coming on the side, then it will be kind of all even out. But human form is not all even because the forearms kind of have taper down, and then the upper arms sort of have some mass, for the deltoid, tricep, and bicep. In the beginning, when you construct it, don't think too far ahead yet. Just have the perspective line kind of lay out. Like if this were a mannequin, the deltoid or the shoulder would be a ball, right? And then in this, if you turning it in z-axis along, this would be, you just have to project it out. It will sort of get bigger as it come out. Just think of it as an even cylinder first before you go in and get the proportion right. So that's the easy basic way to do it. I'm just gonna go a little, it's kind of wrong. Just gonna go there, and then cylinder, a bit too big. So there. So you have, this one is not totally foreshortening. Sometimes foreshortening can happen like really into the front, and that's the end of the cylinder, and that's the back of the cylinder. So basically same thing happening here, except it's off to the side a little bit. So you get the idea, just construct it with the cylinder first. Just gonna tone that down slightly, a little bit, and then so now you have 2 block of cylinder, which it looks from here, it looks long, but then since it's turning to the front, it's get shorter as it turns, and as it turns this way more, it's gonna get shorter and shorter, proportional wise, but then it will have this perspective that going in to the vanishing point. So it's necessary to know perspective when you're trying to draw a foreshortening. And her body is pretty much this is clavicle or whatever that is, and the torso would be right here. you're gonna construct it from the mannequin. And that will be the hip, I mean the waist for the ball, and the hip would be rolling and the legs coming out. And that's going to be the gap of the mannequin that has, and then the same thing on this side. So here, slightly perspective, and breaking down the hands is a little complicated. Not really, but just to make it simple first, just gonna tone it down a little bit. So hands, usually I make it the palm of the hand. I usually make it a square, and then I break down into two parts first because it's easier, and then this coming off as thumbs, and then, or sometimes you can even do, you know, just this whole finger and then index finger, but I like to break it out in two because it's a lot easier to measure. So that's pinky in there. So, and this, if you look at it in 3D, it's just gonna be like this. And so on, and then you break that into two, and then you have your thumbs coming off. And then there's the forearm. So same thing here, you just construct it in 3D. And remember perspective. As it go into space, you might wanna, but since human hands are not rigid or as a straight line, you might wanna bend it a little bit. So it's, you know it's bent, but then the rule perspective is that it's keep going down. I mean, it's keep bigger in the front, and as it go back, it's getting slimmer. And same thing here, you just kind of construct it there, fingers. And in the beginning, when I draw on the first video, you see that I draw this line so that I can measure where the finger would line up, and then right there. So that would be your finger. Don't think so much about breaking down your finger. That will be another issue. If your pose doesn't have a finger that bent, then don't think about that yet. Just have it straight and then have it pan out, make it look good, and then you got it there. And this is a very basic rule of perspective. What I would suggest is to get all the part of the body or the anatomy right. You might want to take a lot of figure drawing class, or not a figure drawing class, not necessary. I mean, that's necessary in the beginning, but go to a lot of life drawing class, so you will find a way to see form. And a lot of them, when you have a live model pose in front of you, you will get to see or draw things in perspective that you might not even most of the time when I go to live drawing class, I don't even have time to construct this kind of thing. But if you draw your own illustration and you don't have a reference in front of you, you might want to construct it like this first. But I didn't think about this at first, because usually I go to a lot of live drawing class, and I usually just construct it by using lines right away. And I kind of know what it's supposed to look like, so it's so I just go with form rather than constructed the cylinder, and that will help you a lot. If you go to a lot of live drawing class, you see a lot of model pose in a different way, and you sometimes they'll do the pose that have, if you sit on a certain angle, you have the really hard foreshortening that you have to draw and you have to figure out, and break it down to like simple shape and try to make it fit and make it look like a body. Sometimes they curl up or putting their arms out or legs out in front of you, and it's really hard to draw those foreshortening. Foreshortening is one of those things that it will take some time to get used to, and hopefully this tutorial will help, just to beginning constructed. And same as that arm, same thing, cylinder and cylinder. And you can, later on, you can kind of add that onto your cylinder shape, make the shape a little more organic and more natural like. Alright, this is the end of this short tutorial to explain how I arrive at this. Well, hope that helps. Have a good day. Bye bye.